Good morning. Welcome back to the Warriors Way. I'm here with my buddy Phil. Say hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil. So he is from the Shriners. His name's Phil Brack, and we're going to touch with him in just a second. I want to welcome you back to our podcast in association with UCAN, United Community Addiction Network, where we go to help those people that are struggling to help themselves. I am Isaac, and I'm your host of the Warriors Way, and our warrior this week again is Phil Brack. And how are you doing, sir?
Wonderful.
All right. Wonderful is good. I always like to say living the dream, because dreams...
I've been doing that all my life.
Well, yeah, because somebody's dream and someone's nightmare could be the same thing, right? So we had you on because you guys do a bunch of community work, and when I was asking around, I was amazed at how many people did not know how active you guys were. So, Phil, you are you got your hat there that says past potentate. Can you tell people what that is?
Well, the potentate is the leader of the individual temples.
Okay.
And past being the key word, I am no longer potentate. Thank you very much. It was a fun ride, but I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, it's like boot camp. You're glad you went through it, but you don't want to do it again.
Right.
That's great. So, are you from this area?
I am. Well, I was born over in Montcalm County, but for the most part lived all my life in the Flint area.
What county was that again?
Montcalm.
Where is that?
Over on the west side of the state.
Really? I didn't know that one.
About halfway between Big Rapids and Grand Rapids.
Oh, okay. Is it like a smaller town?
Well, that's the county. I was born in a little town called Lakeview.
Okay. And so when did you move to Flint?
Early 60s.
Okay.
Dad was looking for work that would support a few kids and found General Motors. And, he actually found a gas station first, worked there.
Yeah.
And then General Motors let him come on in, and he retired out of there.
So how old were you when you moved to Flint, do you know?
Oh, Lord, it was 1961, I believe, so I was about 4.
Okay, so 4. And that makes you how old now?
I'll be 65 soon.
Okay, now did you move into Flint or surrounding area?
Into Flint.
Oh, okay, so did you went to one of the Flint schools?
Yeah.
Which one?
Merrill.
Merrill, okay.
Merrill Elementary was my first school, then Emerson Junior High. Mind you, none of these exist anymore.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that.
I went to Flint Northern.
Northern, okay.
And then we moved out in my senior year, so I graduated from Flushing.
Okay.
And
all right, that's cool. And so what year did you graduate? What year was that?
I graduated in 1975.
1975, so right before the bicentennial year.
Yep.
All right. Well, I was born in 1976, so that puts the dates between us.
Well, you're the same age as my son.
There we go. So
close to it.
So you graduated in 1975. So did you stay in the area? Did you go to college?
I got. I worked at a grocery store in Flushing, Beakey's ShopRite. Give you a little plug there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know my name anymore. But at any rate, I hired into General Motors at Buick.
Okay.
Back in 1977.
Flint, downtown there?
Yep.
Buick City?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Hired into the old foundry.
Wow. That's dirty work right there, bud.
It was.
Yeah.
But that was short-lived. Then they transferred me up to the engine plant, which was greasy work.
Yeah.
But it was good. And then down to the car assembly plant, which was a lot cleaner, but a little more hectic.
So how long did you work at GM?
40 years.
40 years. Now, did you stay on the floor, or did you go?
I went on skilled trades in 1985.
Yeah.
Became an electrician eventually, and then transferred in 1996 over to the V8 plant.
Okay.
And then to Flint Engine South, it was called at the time. Now it's Flint Engine Operations, something like that.
Yeah. So my dad was a truck and bus guy forever.
Okay, that's where my father worked.
Yeah. Went to Pontiac for like 7 years and ended up back in there. 37 years. Ran a high-low his whole life. He was comfortable with that. Did skilled trades.
I did that for a while. It was a good job.
Yeah, I told him. I said, "God bless you for that." I couldn't do that. That'd drive me crazy. Man.
Well,
my mind goes.
You got a family and kids to support.
Yeah, you do what you got to do.
That's right.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so I wanted to get the Shriners on here because a lot of people know about the circuses and the clowns and the little cars and all that, but they really don't get what you guys do with the kids, you know?
We're the best kept secret in the world.
Right. So give me just a little outline of the stuff you do, especially with the kids and all that.
Well, the Shriners, you have local groups that support the international group.
All right. And when was it started? Like, what's the history of it, the Shriners?
The Shrine was started in New York City by a handful of Masons in 1872, I believe was the date.
Wow,
It's the 150th anniversary, so yeah, it'd be 1872 in New York City. And one of the guys was an actor, and so they took on an Arabic theme.
Okay.
And it's not promoting Islam or any way, shape, or form. It was just, that was what they did.
It was just a scheme, a look.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
It had romantic connotations and mysterious connotations. So.
Well, I hear you guys are good looking, so
Yeah.
that's important.
Gorgeous. But no, they started that, and it was to be a fun thing. Shriners are Masons. Masons are the oldest fraternity in the world, but it's a lodge, and you don't drink, smoke, talk religion or politics in the lodge. You know, it's a lot of pomp and circumstance, that kind of thing.
Right.
It's a good network among people, a brotherhood. However, it's kind of stuffy sometimes in just a lodge meeting. So
well, I know you guys have the dances. I've seen the tuxes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we would have social things after lodge.
Okay.
But these guys started the Shrine as just a fun degree and another way to socialize and party it up a little bit.
So from 1872, like where did it turn into like the kids and the hospitals and all that stuff?
And well, it's the 100th year for the hospital. So 1922, they opened. They decided to support a cause,
right?
And because that was their 50th year, so they wanted to do something other than just play around.
Right.
So they came up with the idea of helping children that were crippled up.
Okay.
And they set their standards to predominantly orthopedic diseases.
Okay.
And the first hospital was opened in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay.
Way back. So, and then since then we've grown to 22 hospitals in North America, counting Canada and Mexico.
And you guys spend a lot of time at the hospitals. You raise money for them.
We raise money for them, or we raise money for ourselves first and foremost because we have to have operating capital.
Absolutely.
To run our portion of the business.
Right.
However, we do try and raise money for the hospitals. And the ones that our temple support is the orthopedic hospital in Chicago.
Okay.
And the burn unit in Dayton, Ohio.
All right. And why do you think it's like such a secret? You know, it's weird, right?
I don't know. Since I joined, I always knew that there were Shriners, and they were always the guys that wore the funny hats, which is called a fez. And they run around in little cars and whatnot, or dress up like clowns. Yeah. And, it was the circus. That's what you knew. And you saw them in parades and what have you. And it's just a bunch of grown men acting like kids and having a good time. and that's what that's your
base.
Big goal is for the guys to have fun.
Right.
And, but we want to support the hospitals also.
Okay.
After I became a Shriner, I was amazed at how many people didn't know about the Shrine.
Yeah.
And
so did you meet a guy in the shop? Like, is that how that worked? Or?
Well, actually, it was my father-in-law. I got married, and my father-in-law was a Mason and a Shriner.
Okay.
And so were a number of his friends. And Masons are not allowed to solicit membership.
Okay.
However, you have to ask to join.
Right.
However, there are ways that guys talk about it and pique your curiosity.
There's rules, and then there's ways around the rules.
Of course.
River always has multiple paths.
But I mean, when your father-in-law is talking to the son-in-law about this, and
sure,
I'm going to obviously pay attention and listen to him.
Right.
And
That's cool. Now, how old were you when that happened?
Oh, I was in my mid-30s.
All right, so you'd been working at GM for basically, that'd be about 15 years at that point.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay. So,
but I would ask my father-in-law, well, what do they do? What do they do?
Right.
He really couldn't come up with a clear, concise answer.
Right.
And I got laid off from General Motors.
Uh-huh.
And at the time, they had this thing called the Jobs Bank.
Yep, I remember.
And they would let people go out and do community service work for nonprofit organizations.
Right.
And I had people tell me, well, try and hook up with the Shriners out at Circus Park.
Mm-hmm.
They always got lots of stuff to do, but they don't, you're not digging ditches or anything. So
right.
I contacted the guy that was running the thing at the time, and he set me up to come up there every day. And he knew my father-in-law.
Oh, so
he started answering my questions.
Okay.
He wasn't soliciting me or anything, but he could answer the questions I had.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
And then we would set up the hall for rentals or shrine functions in there. And I saw what these guys did, and I saw the literature on the hospitals and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I thought, I want to be part of that.
Yeah, I find that being a person that's gone in a car accident, come out with a brain injury, and I've been disabled, it's purpose is the most important thing in the whole world, and that's one of the things that you guys provide in a community is purpose. And I find if you're struggling with depression or hanging out, and your life is in this stale spot helping somebody, especially helping kids, going and handing out food or doing a soup kitchen, man. I find that really makes me go, life is not so bad, and then you guys got the dances.
Well, you figure somebody's always got it worse than you.
Yeah, but going and help that person that's got it worse, and there's just something about that just stresses, that relaxes. So
makes you feel good.
All right, so Phil,
But to continue with my story,
as
to why the Shriners are the best kept secret, I've actually witnessed kids on the street that were obviously crippled up, and I approached their parents about it, mother, father, whoever was there, and they said, we've heard about Shriners, but we didn't know any. And so
So the people that needed it had no idea you existed. That's crazy.
Yeah, they knew about Shriners, but they didn't know how to get in touch with anybody or anything. And honestly, a lot of people are bashful in that regard. And probably figure, well, it's nobody's business that my kid's messed up.
Right.
But I tell you, after you go to the hospitals, these kids aren't messed up.
Right.
These kids are just like any other kid there, except for they have a disability, but they were born with it. They don't even realize it.
Right.
And everything we do for them just makes life that much better for them.
And that's what makes it the best kept secret for you, huh?
Yeah. I mean, we advertise on television now all the time.
Yeah.
But.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break here in just a second, and we're going to have a link. So if you guys go to spiritualwarfareunit.com, once we get done with this, we'll have a link. So if you guys are interested in signing up, you click the link on our website. It'll take you right to them, and I'm sure they can get a hold of somebody through your website to get a hold if they're interested in what you're doing. If you haven't checked out our life application class at Spiritual Warfare Unit, please check us out there. We're going to take a small break, and we'll be right back.
I'm really impressed with the teachings that Isaac has been bringing to us, as this is all based from Proverbs.
I like it because it's simple, and it doesn't matter who you are. It's very easy to understand and apply to your life.
It points out, my bad parts, and but it's showing me how to do the good parts, and I'm trying to apply that and make a better life for myself because I'm tired of where I've been.
It's impacted a lot of the guys as they continue to talk and ask questions after the meetings, as they speak to one another regarding the meeting and the messages and the topics that are being brought up, which are down-to-earth topics of situations and things that we live with on a day-to-day basis.
He takes the Bible and he breaks it down into simple terms and where you can understand. And like I said before, sometimes a lot of churches, even the Salvation Army, sometimes we start using these big words that people don't understand, like even saying someone got saved. Well, what does that mean? What does it mean when you say someone got saved? And it's accepting Jesus into your heart. So it's like words like that we use that people don't understand.
It's just very interesting how he points out, you know, the different things of, you know, the sin part, and then he comes back with the, you know, how to make it better, and he just points it out. It's there. You know, I didn't know all this stuff was in there, but now that he's pointing it out, it's like, wow, you know, I guess if you really dig into the Bible, you find these things.
This is a daily moral standards that we can live by, that the teachings are coming from. And honestly, we can take verse by verse as what he's done, and pretty much he's done the hard work for us, and now laying it out so that we have an easier understanding.
There's some people who don't like to be in Bible classes,
That's
but
why
this
it's the warrior's
one
way.
seems to get their attention.